So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate the use of a very convenient function called GroupBy that Pandas gives. First, I'll walk through a couple of slides so you understand the concept before we jump into Python. If we do this, understanding the Python part, when I show you that, will become a little easier. Okay. So GroupBy has like 2 or 3 steps that we need to do. First, we need to group by the home team column. Remember what our goal is, to find out the total number of, let's say, home team number of games played, won and lost. Okay, so I want to group. I have 256 rows mixed up, so I want to group each one by home team, by one team at a time. Then I want to look at a particular column that we have created called home wins, which is just true false columns. Okay, and then we can perform simple math to understand that, to get the total number of games played, wins, losses, etc. Let me explain how GroupBy works. Okay, if you understand this syntax, you are well on your way to understanding Pandas GroupBy. The command is simple enough: df.groupby. What is the column to group by? Group, that's called the grouping column. Okay, that's home team, and then the column of interest, as I call it. It's usually numeric, doesn't have to be, but a numeric column of interest is the one that we're going to perform our operations on. Okay, again, pictorially, this is what it will look like. If I ran the previous command, group by home team home wins, you'll see here all the Pittsburgh games are grouped, all the San Francisco games, and all the New England games. And then this column is very important. This has all the home wins, true, false, true, false. And look at what New England did. They simply won all their home games. Okay. But I also want you to pay attention to the row number here. See, it's all mixed up, and that's good, because in our original data set, Pittsburgh occurred in row number 21, 61, 65, and so on. But Pandas, because we are doing group by, goes and picks up those 8 rows which are of interest, where the 8 home teams happened. And now we are ready to do arithmetic operations on it. Okay. So in one of these, if we simply ran length or size or count, there are variations. So the size of this data frame tells you the number of games played. Okay. And if you want to calculate the number of home wins, you simply sum up this home win column. So in this case, it will be 8. In this case, it will be whatever, 5 and 3 and so on. Okay, so we can so df.groupby home team of home wins.count gives you the total number of games played, and df of home team home wins.sum will give you the number of home wins. Now let's go to Python and see how to do this in our Jupyter notebook. I'm going to do exactly what we did in the previous video, but I want to see if we can do it using GroupBy. Okay, so this is a way to learn GroupBy. Again, our overall goal is we want to take for the year 2018-2019, we want to go team by team, and we want to calculate the total number of wins and losses for each team. Okay, so we want to get 32 rows, one for each team, and then we want to know how many games. The total, they played 16 games. Was it 11 and 5? Was it 12 and 4? Whatever it was. Okay, that's what we want to calculate again. So this part is all exactly the same, but I've taken everything that we did in part 1 and put it into one cell. Let's see what our data frame looks like. I want to draw your attention to these 2 columns that we will be using. Okay, home win and away win. Okay, so again, in this data frame, we have 256 rows, as you can see here. Okay, so I have 1 row per game, 0 to 255. It's 256 total. And we're going to use, let's try to see if we can use group by. Okay, and then also there's this column is very useful. Home advantage score is simply their home team score minus the away team score. Okay, so if it's a positive, that means that the home team won. If it's a negative, that means that the away team won. So I use that to show here which team won. Okay. Now let's see if we can try using group by. Okay, 8 rows for each team, 32 teams. Okay, 8 times 32 is going to be 256. I'm going to take that particular column of interest to me. I will call it as home win. Okay, so far I've just grouped it. It's not shown me any results as such. Okay, now that we have a grouped object, we've taken the home teams, we've grouped by the home team, and we're focusing on one true false column called home wins. Okay, just one column that we happen to focus. And then if we say dot count, we'll see how many games, home games, each team has played. Not very surprising, they've all played 8 times at home. Okay, if you do sum, it will tell you how many home games each team has won. Okay, so if you see here, New England has won all 8 of its home games last year. Okay, good. I don't want to do this one at a time, so we can do something called aggregating. I'm going to AGG. Okay, this is where it looks complicated, but it's not that complicated. I'm going to aggregate there. Okay, so I know now that each team, Atlanta has played 8 home games and won 4, whereas Baltimore 8 and 6, Buffalo 8 and 4, and so on. Next, let's try to add the number of losses. Okay, so I want to loss. These are 2 functions, but loss is a little tricky. So I'm going to say that my home loss is equal to a function that I'm going to write called number of losses. And how to calculate the number of losses? I'm going to say define a function that I'm going to call number of losses. It's going to take a group number of rows, take all my rows, how many games did I play, minus how many did I win. Okay, so the total number of games played minus the games that I won will be the number that I lost at home. I want you to pay attention to something nuanced. The size is not callable. Okay, so size is an attribute of this class. So g.size has no parenthesis, but sum has a parenthesis. Okay, so now if I run this, I should have returned this. Sorry. There. Okay, good. Very nice. I can do the exact same thing now for away games. So I can take by the away team, take their away win column, and let's call them the away number of games played. The away win is the total of this away win column, and the away losses is again the number of losses. It will call the same function again. Now if I run it, yeah, there is an away team, and then the away played, away loss, away win is 2, away loss is 6. Good. Let me go to New England and make sure it's working right. Good. They have won 3, but they lost 5. Okay. Very good. Now let's store these because we want to merge them. So let me copy that here, and maybe I can say here that my home results is this, and my away results is, so now I have 2 data frames. Now let's try to merge the 2, but I want to show you something first. Look at the away results. Pay attention to this one. This is called the index, right? The away teams are shown here, and you see how this is shows up lower because this is the names. You can think of this index as the row names, if you will. Here are all my column names. Okay, so this index is called away team. Here are the away teams. Similarly, if I show you home results, all the home team results are shown here as the index. Okay, so I want to do merge. I want to do pd.merge. Merge is a very easy command. You can say take my home results, take my 2 data frames, and then I want to merge them by the same index. Okay, so I want Buffalo to be merged with Buffalo. So I want to say the left column, left data frame, left index is equal to true, and right index equal to true. So take both its, whenever you find Buffalo here and Buffalo here, you match it and you show me one common result. So it found Buffalo 844 and 826. So it found all these numbers. It's very nice. So I can call these as maybe my team. Let's now team results is a big data frame. It's not so big. It has 6 columns and 32 rows. Verify that. Very nice. What is next? I think I just need to create 2 new columns. Okay. I have all these columns, so I can now say that hey, my team results of, let's just call them wins, How many wins does this have? It has the team results of home win plus team results of away win. Okay, so I just took total wins and I'm calling them my win column. Similarly, let me do that for my losses, away losses, my home losses, and let's just call this LOSSES. Okay, now if you show your team results, we have everything that we wanted there. Okay, so 3 and 13. This is good. These guys, Baltimore had a good season, and Chicago 12 and 4, 10 and 6. These are the top few will make it to the playoffs. This is because remember this is the regular season. So once again, quickly to recap, we group by a particular column that we like, in this case home team or away team. Then we'd go to a particular column and then we aggregate and run some statistics on them. We simply see how many games did they play, how many did they win, and how many did they lose. In order to calculate how many they lost, we had to write a one-line function which said, hey, the total played minus the total that you won must be the total that you lost. It was easier to do it that way. So I created a custom function and then I created 3 new columns here. Therefore, I had to use AGG. Hopefully that was somewhat helpful. This is how you use group by in Pandas. Thank you for your time.